Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever for another 5v5 MapGen cast. The MapGen has been on the repertoire for the casts for many casts in a row, but I have to say, with the maps looking so beautiful, I cannot say I'm disappointed. As we can get into introducing our teams, with Team 1 over on the left and Team 2 over on the right. Let's start in the north with Team 1 and the gray UEF, of course, by the name of a Phoenix. Or no, a Felix. Man, I don't know why I threw an N in there. There's not even anything that looks close to it, but he is rocking this northernmost position for his team as we move to the south to his first ally, another UEF, this time yellow, by the name of Napspan. He is spanning some naps, boys, and he has gone first land. Then we have yet another UEF going first land. Lots of that going on in this game. His name is Snowy801, and his color is, of course, pink. As we move on to his next ally, the Purple Seraphim Worst Faction, going first land by the name of Rail? Yeah, Aurelia. And then we can move on to last, but certainly not least for Team 1. He's an orange Aeon best faction, clicking that really juicy, curvy emblem in green to choose the absolute superior option in this game. And his name, of course, is Book of Guns. And I can tell you, I bet I know which upgrade he's going for. I saw it in a book somewhere. Then we can go ahead and go on to the Cyan UEF for Team 2. Going first land, second air by the name of Tear Shadow. Then we can go over to the north of him with the Maroon Aeon. Yet again, a man of taste here, and his name is Pretzels. And with a taste like that, you know he's just bound to win, right? He's Aeon. That's like the first step to winning. As we move on to the White Aeon going first land, Team 2 putting up a strong showing. 2 Aeons, no way they lose. Really getting thick into it with the faction abuse right now. But his name is Fong, and he's gone first land. Oh, and he's white, you know. Not to be racist or anything. As we move on to the, that's great for the YouTube algorithm, Blue Aeon going, I would assume, first land. Yes, first land by the name of Sniv. Then last but not least for the entire game, we have a dark green UEF going, I would guess, first land as well, and walking over to these buildings to reclaim them by the name of Lorem Ipsum. And that is all of our players introduced. We had a little bit of harassment, I'm assuming, down here somewhere. Let's see. Yep, that was a Mech Marine Scout combo? Mech Marine Snoop? Probably. Yeah, and then we have like a tank and Selene out over here. Another tank and Selene combo over here to the east, heading towards the Maroon Aeon Pretzels, as his engineers are just ripe for the picking. These seedy tactics coming out from Aurelia with his dirty Seraphim ways is going to get in and probably kill off quite a few engineers here, which will be very sad to see the Aeon civilians go down. But of course, it is the life of an engineer to just be shot at and have no response unless you're a Sparky. Speaking of Sparkies, did you know if you join the channel membership, every time I do a stream, which happens every Thursday now, you have beautiful access to an emote, and one of those emotes is, of course, the Sparky. And I didn't mean an emote, I meant like 8 of them. And they're very nice. We have recently updated it to where you're going to have pixel logos of every single faction. So, including the horrible ones, the ones we don't speak about, the Seraphim. But, of course, that tank already picking up 2 kills. I'm guessing both of those are probably onto engineers. Nope, one was onto a mass extractor. And there is a Aurora coming over. As long as this Aurora is microed properly, this could go very well. Of course, if it's not, yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but it's okay. Strength in numbers, says the Aeon. And another Aurora is going to show up. Not the best marksman. He's a little bit drunk. And he's going to be chasing down this Thumb and not shooting at it because there is no radar. You need a scout! Stop making the Aeon look bad. If the UEF has to solve your problem, I'm very disappointed in you right now, Pretzels. Up to the north, we have expansion out for Af Felix, and he is doing quite well. He has a lot of factories now on the front lines. He's going to be able to get a lot of units out very quickly. Needs to be a bit careful, as Sniv is already sitting on a nice stack of Auroras, and he's really abusing the range up here. See, this is what you do with the Aeon faction. You just build these Auroras, and you move forward when they move back, and whenever they move forward, you move back, and in the end, you just get this beautiful ebb and flow to your combat. It's very elegant, very, very nice to see. And Af Felix is feeling some pain right now. He took some damage onto the comm. He's lost some units. He's managed to get some of those back with a sneaky little Lobo shell. But some decent micro coming out there from the blue Aeon for Team 2. Range now on the way for Sniv. I'm going to guess that's going to be followed up by a speed upgrade. No upgrade for Book of Guns. Still waiting for that gun upgrade. We have no upgrades really going on for much of anyone. I think that range upgrade was, yes, it was indeed the first upgrade, and now it's done, and speed is on the way. So Sniv a little bit ahead of the pack right now as far as upgrading the commander goes. Down to the south, we have a large combined force of units out from both Fong and Pretzels now starting to conglomerate towards the comm of Snowy 801. Snowy 801 and Fong, the kind of MVPs of this game if you're just going off rating. 1600 for Snowy and 1400 for Fong. So gonna be players we have to keep our eyes on. Speed about to finish up now for Sniv. T2 now on the way for a Felix. And range now on the way for Pretzels, so that we're going to see some very soon action, I would imagine. And of course, over here to the north, Napspan and Lorem Ipsum getting dangerously close to the expansion efforts of Sniv, and a very large army now coming out from Lorem Ipsum to be a bit threatening. Oh, I thought they were on the same team. This gray and this green are fucking with me, I'm not going to lie. They're really not that close, but I don't know if it's my color blindness, but they kind of just look the same at a glance. As over here to the south, we have damage and range on the way for Tear Shadow, and Aurelia walking forward with the comm, taking some pot shots at some of these strikers, getting some damage down. Everybody just kind of chilling around, and of course upgrades going on for various players. Pretzels he's already got range, he's got speed on the way. Tear Shadow working on damage and range, has a lot of assistance, going to be done very quickly. Range now on the way for Fong, and over here to the north, Sniv with speed and range finished up. Lorem Ipsum with his comm and this large army. Looks like a very dangerous situation now for Felix. Damage and range about to finish up down here to the south for Tear Shadow. And speed on the way and rising quickly for Pretzels. Speed now on the way for Fong as well. T2 has finished up now for a Felix, and he's going to be able to build up some very, very important point defense before this inevitable attack out from Lorem Ipsum, and Sniv shows up at his front door ready to kick it down and deliver some pain onto the gray UEF of Team 1. And he is currently just taking a lot of damage. He's just eating it as the range and speed comm of Sniv getting some great value at the moment. He's keeping his units back, which I really appreciate. Would love to see Lorem Ipsum go for a full commit fight and then for Sniv to show up with an attack move on those Auroras. If you do it just right, yeah, look, there's the attack move. If you do it just right, these strikers will go in, they'll start taking the brunt of the damage, and then you'll have these Auroras firing over the top. It's kind of like that scene from Lord of the Rings where you have all of the elves in the back with bows firing over top the humans with their swords and shields or whatever the fuck they had. Down here to the south, Aurelia, and a little bit of a spot of bother as a damage and range comm for Tear Shadow and a speed and range comm for Pretzels. Now bearing down on his position, his units are dissipating almost as quickly as the health points on that comm, down to 6,200, 5,000 health on the comm, down to 3,000 health, 2,000, and he is gonna be our first ejection here. just before the 10-minute mark, Aurelia has been kicked out of the game, and his base is most likely going to be handed over to Snowy 801. Very unfortunate turn of events for Team 1. Of course, a higher rated player getting a second base is not always a bad thing, but this is going to be very difficult to deal with without your own form of kind of gun-com defense. Currently, Book of Guns showing up with a speed and range comm. Of course, he's up against two different speed and range comms. I guess a damage and range and a speed and range comm, so that could be dangerous. Over here to the north, we had to look away for a little bit, but Lorem Ipsum and Sniv using their combination attack of Strikers and attack move Auroras, along with that comm out from Sniv, managing to get a juicy attack down onto a Felix, and a Felix is losing some power generators. He has a lot to deal with right now. Fortunately for him, his yellow UEF ally showing up with some pillars and some Mongoose to try and help clean up this area, try and give some support to the much overwhelmed 700 rated Felix. That's a line of power generators going down. I'm sure he's fine. He's overbuilt power by quite a bit, but it's never a fun thing to see your structures blow up, you know, and he has some T2 mexes, so maybe he can recover if he gets enough land factories down. But we'll have to keep an eye on that, as down here to the south, Tear Shadow and Pretzels currently getting pushed back a bit by Book of Guns, and I'm guessing a lot of production coming out from Snowy 801, but Snowy 801 is kind of abandoning his orange ally, and that could prove fatal in the coming minutes, as Pretzels and Tear Shadow could probably just kill Book of Guns if they walk on him. Book of Guns falling back with haste. He has decided that this is not quite the optimal place to stand, and he's going to do some reclaiming before trying to run away a little bit more. Maybe that was a bit of a mistake with the reclaim orders, just trying to give a better move command. And he is getting some overcharges down. Up to the north, we have more units conglomerating over here for the side of Sniv and Lorem Ipsum. Felix going to be in a very difficult position to recover from. He needs to be careful. Was that E-Storage that got blown up a second ago? Oh, this is excessive. Not obsessive, excessive. Why do you need a T2 power? A Felix. You don't need that, bruh. I got yelled at by my coach for building too much power, and now whenever I see that, I'm like, oh. I know why he's doing it. He's like, I'm gonna want shields, and no, you don't need it yet. Okay. Pretzels and Tear Shadow currently continuing to pressure towards Book of Guns, and Book of Guns really having himself a hard time against this double comm pressure. Of course, they are extending quite a bit, and now that T2 air is done, this could be very dangerous. I'm not seeing any AA, and this, in my little Aeon brain is going to whirring in the background, and it's saying, mercy snipe, mercy snipe. So we're going to have to see if Book of Gun has the same idea, but Fong was defeated by Snowy 801. I didn't even notice that they were fighting. So Fong has been just destroyed, and now Sniv is sitting on two bases. He's kind of the mirror of Snowy 801 at the moment, just kind of opposites attract kind of moment. He had this base and inherited this one, whereas Snowy had this base and inherited this one. We might have another ejection as Book of Guns down to sub 2,000 HP and soon to be sub 1,000 HP. He's fallen back, he's overcharging, he's putting shots in. Radar is nowhere to be seen for Pretzels or Tear Shadow, so they're not able to fire back at the comm of Book of Guns. He just needs to keep running and pray that a scout doesn't show up, pray that an air unit doesn't fly over at an inopportune time. He needs a mercy snipe, and he needs it yesterday. He's building mercies. Is he going to be able to do it? Oh no! I can't believe I missed Fong getting ejected, but this is some tense butt-clenching action out from Book of Guns as he's fallen back. Pretzels and Tear Shadow relentless in their aggression, relentless in their assault, and relentless in the damage they've inflicted onto this orange Aeon here before the 15-minute mark. A large army now showing up for Snowy 801, including some Ilshivas. This is a much-needed pressure release. It was getting kind of dangerous here for a second, but now we have Snowy 801 coming in, trying to make the hero play. Loses that first Ilsheva, but still has tons of units coming in, kind of separating Tear Shadow and Pretzel's Calm from the assistance that they desperately need from their armies. They need some AA, and they need it kind of yesterday, as some Volthu gunships or Stinger gunships show up. Tear Shadow, the first calm targeted by Stinger gunships and the occasional Scorcher flying around. There is a flak over here for Tear Shadow. He needs to move it closer to his calm. There's a shield about to show up, but it gets shut down by the thumb pressure. Tear Shadow down to 2,000 HP and falling quickly. He is in a ton of danger, and this is a painful moment indeed for the Cyan UEF, as some Mercies come in and they connect onto Pretzels instead of Tear Shadow, but Tear Shadow is so low he may just die to the units, but no, he gets a rank of veterancy just at the perfect timing, and Pretzels is going to be maybe the first go down, but either comm going down means the other one dies just as well, and with the Stingers stinging away, Tear Shadow goes down, and so does Pretzel. Actually, Pretzel went down first, but we don't need to talk about that. And with that huge amount of action going down in the southern side of the map, we have to take a look, reset, and check out the top side of the map where the ever-present aggression for Sniv and Lorem Ipsum has gained them a ton of territory, but unfortunately for Sniv, he just doesn't have enough T2 units in the area. The Mongoose with the parashields really starting to cause issues for this comm. It does have shield online now, so that is a good point in the direction of the blue Aeon, but he's having struggles with this large T2 force. He's still mostly Aurora Fervor. He has the occasional Obsidian showing up, but the Obsidian gets outranged by the Mongoose, and as long as the micro is good, and so far Nap Spam has been doing a very good job of microing these Mongoose, you can have very strong situations arrive. The Mongoose and his comm moving very slowly. Huh, is that a formation move with, like, the commander involved? Is that why it's so slow? The formation move goes based off the slowest units present, and this really looks like a UEF commander in a formation move. Oh no, he is in the formation move. Oh, this is painful almost to watch. It's a snail's pace for sure. The Mongoose firing. Unfortunately for them, though, they're going to be in range of all these strikers very soon. Need to fall back before the parashields give out on him. He's going to fall back. If the comm tanks up enough damage, the Mongoose can live to fire away another day. He's also microing up here. He's doing a lot of micro. Napspan really giving credence to the entire Mongoose spam strategy and really showing it off quite well right now. His Mongoose getting a ton of value. I'm sure if we check on a few of these older Mongoose, they'll be getting up some ranks of veterancy relatively soon. Stingers showing up, trying to release some pressure over here, as that seems to be Snowy 801's role in this game. He is a pressure release valve, and oh my lord, I didn't think about this, but Sniv has 4 bases. Sniv sitting on a hell of an economy right now. If he just rushes T3, he can build an experimental. That's not out of the cards for him right now. He is at, how much economy was that? 264? That is GC economy. That is GC Central economy. You might lose a little bit of presence down here in the south. That's perfectly fine, because if you get a GC, you just stamp it your way through to the mid game. Or you stamp your way through to the late game and style on all these fools. You hear me, dog? God, I'm too white. Way too white for that shit. Okay. Now that I've made everybody cringe. Yes, I've gotten my cast cringe quota out of the way. We can get back to some good, high energy casting performance. Powered by AMD. Mongoose continuing to get value. Yeah, they're almost all getting up to 1 rank of veterancy now. They're just firing into Obsidians. There's Mongoose. There's a sandwich right now, and there's an Obsidian meat with some Mongoose bread really making some trouble for Sniv to deal with, and he needs something. The Obsidians aren't working. The Obsidian Asylum combo is very strong, but the one thing it doesn't have is speed. And that's kind of what you need to chase down all of these Mongoose. But now that the Mongoose are strolling in range of these Oblivion point defenses, and the Obsidians are going to be able to kind of get in, the shields collapse, and these Mongoose are going to evaporate faster than water on a hot day. I should have come up with a better evaporation analogy there. But, of course, we now have Napspan losing the bulk of his army there. Up here to the north, he still has a decent amount left, but the parashield goes down. And that means these Mongoose are vulnerable, and we could have a round 2 electric boogaloo of Mongoose slaughter. Anybody hungry for some meat? We got Mongoose on the barbie. I've been informed that Australians don't say Barbie, but at the same time, I reject your reality and substitute my own. Greatest thing Mythbusters ever gave us was that quote. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Alright. Somebody's gonna go down. Well, no, actually, that quote didn't come from Mythbusters. I have yet to hear any, like, it came from Mythbusters, okay? Adam Savage is tested on YouTube. Go watch it. It's better content than you're getting here, apparently. I'm gonna shout out somebody who has like 8 million subs. Fuck it. That's who I shout out. Speaking of real shout outs though, go check out Function. He's a cool dude. He does some content. He recently blew up his gaming PC and had to replace it, so help him get to 1,000 subscribers over on YouTube, so that way he can recoup some of that juicy gaming PC money he just had to spend. Support smaller FAF creators, myself included. The big ones are Guile and Yuri, since all of the other big ones quit. As a large incursion now formulating over here to the east, Napspan deciding he doesn't like these T2 mexes, and you know what? I gotta agree. They're kind of in an inopportune spot, especially for Sniv, who is currently losing them. Sniv currently at T3 air and has a decent ASF ball going. That's a few mercies if ever I've seen them, and they're gonna fly into almost complete and utter assured death, because there's no way there's not a flak in this. Oh, never mind, they're gonna kill off a T2 Mex. You know what? Probably a decent, actually no, it was probably much more expensive to get the mercies than it was to get that T2 Mex. As Restorers now coming out onto the field, Restorer is going to be a huge issue because Flak cannot adequately deal with a Restorer. A Restorer wins in a 1v1. So if he gets a big enough ball of Restorers and focuses down the Flak, could be very dangerous, and he has the air advantage. The only other player with T3 air is, of course, Snowy 801, and he's got very little, but this team doing a very good job of pushing out against Team 2. Team 2 doesn't have a mass advantage even. He doesn't even have an economy advantage despite all of this. He's still sitting on a very high economy. Snowy almost matching his economy by himself, and then Lorem Ipsum is also sitting on the third highest economy. Let's go ahead and check on Reclaim as we just get a beautiful shot of all of these units running into an Aeon base, which is a very unbeautiful act, if I'm being honest with you. Reclaim, Snowy 801 sitting on 12,000, Sniv sitting on 8.7 thousand, 8.7 thousand for Af Felix, Lorem Ipsum on 7.2 thousand, 6.2 thousand for Book of Guns, and Napspan on 3.1 thousand, and holy moly. I think that now Snowy has more economy. Yeah, he just has more economy than Sniv. Sniv is struggling, and it's kind of on him. He's the one who got 4 bases. I know it's hard to be critical of somebody when they have to do so much on the map, but if you want your team to win, you gotta be able to step up to the plate and bat. With our baseball analogies, which I'm sure work fine in a YouTube space, mainly consisting of late 20s, early 30s sweaty gaming nerds who probably never played sports in high school, and those who did are not true nerds. Shame all of the people who played sports in high school. And if you're from the Europes, high school is, I don't know, secondary school? Is it secondary? Primary school? I don't know. Fucking Europeans can't have normal names for anything. We have elementary, middle, and high school. Can you... Well, I guess some places in the United States have junior high. Man, naming of schools. Didn't know that would be a discussion in today's cast, but could we get some consistency, please? I know I'm an American, and everybody's like, can you all just switch to metric? And I say no, because fuck you, America. But can we get some consistency with the names of schools, please? All right. So, yeah, restorers down here doing a good job of helping to clean up. This area is going to be able to be reanimated from the dead by Sniv, and he's going to get a ton of reclaim doing it. The issue is he needs to rebuild fast. He's 100 mass a second behind Snowy. Snowy is king right now in this game. He is in such a strong position. The only thing I would say that Sniv has over the entirety of Team 1 is right here. He has more mass and units than all of Team 1 probably combined. 27,000. The second highest would probably be Snowy, and he's only sitting on 17,000. Maybe Nap has a lot of mass and units? Yeah, no, he doesn't. What about Book? Book, what's your unit? Yeah, no, there is more mass in the corner of the map right now in units for Sniv. And we didn't even look at Lorem Ipsum, who's sitting on a ridiculous amount as well, 6,000. Than all of Team 1 has across the entire map. So Team 1 really needs to build up something to stop this, because this could be a blue wave rolling across the side of the land, this side of the lands. Rolling across the southern side of the lands, because that's how English works. This could be a very, very deadly attack coming out from the combined arm force of Sniv and Lorem Ipsum. Would love to see if Lorem could just give this over to Sniv, because now you're going to run into, like, horrible pathfinding-ish. Yeah, this is inefficient. Okay. Lorem, you play games with me. Gift units that somebody else could control better. If they're looking at that part of the screen already, give them the units. And then use your Fat Boy and Titans over here on the north. That way you can focus on one side of the map and they can focus on the other side, and everything is gonna be gravy, okay, V? Let's take bets. How many comments are gonna mention my gravy OKV wording there? How many people are gonna say something about it? Well, now that I've said it, there's gonna be more than one comment, so like, I don't know. Kinda cursed that hypothetical. Should have just kept that to myself. Made a bet with myself. This is a decent army if there wasn't a Fat Boy. But yeah, this is a large attack now coming out from Sniv. And there is a response, and luckily for Sniv, he has a lot of Auroras in this. He's happy with taking a fight where he stands on the front line and has a bunch of Auroras in the back line. Auroras don't have inconsiderable DPS, at least for their mass cost. And with the Restorers overhead doing some damage, this looks like it's just going to go very, very well. There's still a lot of Percivals alive. There's still a decent number of Obsidians alive. There's even some Mongoose kind of sprinkled in here. And now as we turn on the unit icons, so we can see that a little bit better, I did want kind of a cinematic view there. These units are just going to be able to walk in this full T3 production line under threat. If he can focus down the factories, even if he trades out this army for all of these factories, that's infrastructure that takes time and energy to replace. He needs to kill off these factories. That is really paramount right now. Killing off the units, oh well. Losing these units, oh well. Killing off those factories, really, really big. And these Aurora are getting a ton of value because they just have so much range. And that attack has gone swimmingly for the side of Team 2. And Team 1 over here on the north, this fat boy is really getting some value. How's the air game looking though? It's mostly restorers. Oh, that actually is kind of an issue. They're gonna need some, you're gonna need some help there. Oh, give these, Lorem! I am publicly shaming you. You should have given these over to Sniv like 15 minutes ago. I know you haven't had them for 15. Give them to Sniv, damn it. I try and tell everybody to, yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. This isn't teamwork. This is just for getting units. How? I know that they've done stuff for you and you use them very effectively, but that's 5,760 mass worth of units that could be killing shit right now, but instead they're sitting around on a coffee break. Damn it, Lorem. That's a lot of T1 bombers coming in. I don't know if they're focused on the fat boy, but that is a doomed attempt if ever I've seen one to kill that fat boy. Also, these parashields are going to be very effective, and there's some flak, some cougars. Always good to have a cougar when you're worried about something hurting you from the sky. Because whether you're talking about the cat or the stereotype, cougars are always known for their ability to catch birds? Wait. What do cougars call... Is that a thing? Is that why it's called a cougar? Is it a sex joke? Because this was added by the FAF team, and I'm not putting... I will not say it's above the FAF team. Or it's below the FAF team to put a sex joke as a unit, but... Do cougars, the old women who want young men, call young men birds? And if not, why not? Because that's actually quite hilarious. I need the cougar community to let me know down in the comments. Somebody go create a YouTube account called the Cougar the Cougar Acunity, the Cougar Community, and let me know down in the comments. Sniv and Lorem getting huge value out of their land armies. I know I've been on some tangents, but this is a... Oh, also, if you create a new YouTube account for a meme like that, make sure you get your YouTube Premium, what's it called? Your YouTube Premium month-long free trial. It might be 3 months now. I know at one point it was. Watch all of my videos on that account, because then, fuck you, pay me, I get more money. And you gotta support small FAF content creators, because we're all starving. Because everybody knows you can't work a job and do YouTube. That's insane. Alrighty. So, the units over here for Sniv, encroaching on the air production for Book of Guns. They've managed to do quite a hefty amount of damage. Lorem Ipsum still getting the worst teammate award for this game, although he's doing a lot right now for Sniv by forcing the... Okay, that's an experimental unit, not somebody dying. Fat Boy out from Snowy going to be able to head down south and try and help relieve the pressure over here. As I said, he's just been the pressure release valve for his team. And over here to the north, the Titan Force starting to encroach on the main base of Felix. And Felix, he has some Percivals. Even if he kills off these Titans, it's looking real bleak. There's some... Oh, Felix is doing a dance. He's raving, boy. Aww. I couldn't get him raving. It's okay. The Clink Hammer, a battery over here that was meant to stop the Fat Boy, is a joke because the Fat Boy... Oh no! Oh no, there's Cougars! Oh no, there's Oh! Yeah, Napspan has spanned his last nap. He's gone into the dirt for the big, long, sad nap. Because he decided that a Continental was enough to deal with like 4 Cougars. And that's not the case. So, yeah. And a Redeemer for redemption, of course. So that Fat Boy, 1000% is not dying right here, which is going to be a very sad revelation. I mean, it may die. Nope, the shield... Did the shield come back on? The shield's not back on, and it's walking in towards artillery, which is not the best micro. Down to the south, the fat boy for Snowy 801 is trying to GG. Snowy 801 control Ks right next to the comm of Book of Guns. Book of Guns control Ks. Are you gonna do it too, huh, Felix? You gonna blow up? Well played, Sniv. You carried this hard. Sniv really did carry hard. Lorem was not... Other than the Titan thing, Lorem also played very well, but everybody in this game played pretty well, except for maybe some of the players who died very early. Of course, this was all for your viewing entertainment. I'm guessing that was a control K. I didn't see anything hit the comm. Thank you all for watching. You've been beautiful. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, not comment. It really helps. But speaking of comment, you should comment. Thank you to the Patreons. Join the channel membership if you want access to every video early. 12 to 24 hours is the rule. And, of course, you all are very beautiful. And I will see you in the next one. This is Willow, signing off.